Isn't it amazing how you can get on the highway, drive about 100 kilometers, and be in an entirely new world? Here I am. This is our next project. Where am I? I am at Langdon Hall Country House Hotel located in Cambridge, Ontario. And today is the day we start the redecoration and design of a few rooms within this luxury boutique hotel. Excited? Curious? Let's go inside. Langdon Hall was built in 1902 by wealthy American Eugene Langdon Wilkes. Believe it or not, this was built originally as the summer residence for a half American family. And now it is a luxury boutique hotel. Welcome to my home. Not. In 1982, architect William Bennett and Mary Beaton bought the property with the dream of opening a country house hotel. And over 30 years and 2 expansions later, Langdon Hall remains an award-winning luxury hotel, and Bennett's son Braden is now the managing director. Maybe what we should do is show me what the challenge is of what you've lost in terms of lounge.
So this was the bar, right?
Okay.
So we used to have, up to 16 people eating in here.
Because of the new realities of life in a pandemic, Langdon Hall had to rejig all of their public spaces to allow for social distancing.
This used to be just general seating, and the issue is that when we had to change all the tables for distancing, we needed tables that were taken out of the dining room.
Right.
And spatially, we could only have so many tables in so many locations, so we've lost what our casual seating area was.
This has always been your main gathering space, right?
Main gathering space, lounge, read the paper, do work, whatever you want. And when we had to change and use this for dining, our biggest bottleneck is then where do you put people to sit? Because they still have to have spatially seating. And when we're changing into the winter and fall months, not everyone's going to want to be outside all the time. So we can still make use of the terrace and still have outdoor dining when we still want it, but not everyone wants to be outside anymore.
Yes, but I've seen the weather report and it's getting kind of chilly.
Yeah, so
we're getting close to the low end of the spectrum. So the key is, the reason I'm here is you've lost this seating.
We lost this seating.
So you've added some seating here.
We've moved some seating from here into the bar where we used to have 16 people.
Right.
So we can't use it for eating in here. I mean, certainly people can eat, sitting at a low table.
Right.
That's fine. But as a traffic corridor, you're still limited for what's in here.
So you guys have spent a little bit of time redecorating. I feel like you guys have been moving around what you've got, because this used to be my favorite place to eat. That used to be a nice place to sit. This was the place to eat. What I see is the furniture from out there has come in here.
Yeah.
The bar is no longer the bar, so now this is a lounge.
Exactly.
And
so we've moved A to B, and we had to set up the protocols for the bar servers so that they're behind plexi. And of course, everything is minimum touch, because also when people leave an area, you've got to sterilize it afterwards.
Right.
So you also have to have access, and you have to have the ability to keep it clean.
And what's the maximum number of people you're allowed to have in here?
Well, there isn't necessarily a maximum occupancy. It's what fits in with the social distancing.
So,
you can't say necessarily you need 10 square foot per person.
Right.
Whereas with distancing, as long as people are back to each other, you can actually have 2 banquettes back to back.
Okay.
But if they're facing each other or they're alongside of each other, you need 6 feet. So at most, if this is a family or 2 couples together, because we're under the 6 minimum, we could have maximum 8 people in here.
Tricky. Okay.
So it's tricky.
So show me, what are the rooms we're going to deal with? Should we go this way? Now that we are in here, just the 2 of us, if we stand far enough apart, am I allowed to take off my mask or no?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we have left the public spaces. We have closed the door, and now we're going to look at, these are the spaces we're going to address.
So this area, for 30 odd years, we've called the red room, because
I can see why.
When we first took it over, the paint was red and nothing's changed.
Okay.
Before that, when the building was originally designed, it was the ladies' parlor.
Okay.
And so there's acoustic effects built into the ceiling so that traditionally ladies weren't supposed to raise their voices, so they could actually sit around the room and hear each other.
That's why it's like this?
That's why you get the echo.
I had no idea. So we were guests for a dinner last fall in this room, and when I told the girls we were coming to look at this, Fiona said, "You're not going to change that ceiling, are you?"
Yeah,
They had the most fun. Ooh, I just got a big...
So when you lean in, you get the echo, and when you get back, you get it.
Okay.
So we've always used this for small meetings and, as you say, private dining. So, you know, this table's always been here, and we can, you know, as you can see, we can seat up to 12 people around it. The thing
Pre-COVID,
is now,
see?
Pre-COVID, exactly.
Yeah.
So now the question is, we need to make this a lounge.
Okay.
So for guests during the day, if they want to have tea, coffee in here in the morning, how do we take it and bring it back down so that we can fit 6, 8, maybe 10 people, and how the different configurations of what the seating is going to be like. For us to have been successful as we have been this summer, it's because we can provide that comfort level with 70 plus acres and outdoor areas, outdoor dining. And so
well, you've got a
changed.
pretty great house to work with,
so
right?
we got to work with something.
This is, I just need to say, this is an amazing room.
Yeah.
I have 2 questions to start with. Can we change the wall color?
Yep.
Can we change the window coverings?
Yeah, we can do, I mean, let's see what's out there.
Okay, and so you want this to be mostly lounge, but do you want some flexible dining? Like, would you want to recover some of these chairs to try and
we can
use
look at
them for a little
upholstery
dining?
when you're looking at little areas like that, and if it's eclectic, neat, and something different, it creates a new parlor, a new space in the house, which, you know, things change.
So you like the idea that it could have a combination of dining height seating, lounge height seating,
Exactly.
sort of 50% of each,
Yeah,
maybe?
we could go either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we super attached to the light fixture?
I think it's probably been here from the original house.
So does that mean that's a yes?
I'm not attached to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question for
Yeah.
you. This is really important for me because I came to this property for the first time on the first TV show that I worked on when I started in this business.
Yeah.
Coming up on 24 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I've always known it as a super traditional environment.
Yeah.
Is that your vision for now and the future?
Tradition always has its place, but you know what? You can always have new spins on things, and if you don't like it, you can change it.
Right.
And that's the one thing is, you know, I'm not tied to tradition in any other regards. People have family traditions, people have architectural traditions, people have style traditions. And you know what? I think when people come, some people like the tradition, some people are here for the first time. Some people like to see when things get modernized and updated and changed.
Right.
So you're never going to make everybody happy all the time. And, you know, one of my jobs is to keep creating and keep developing and keep building.
Right.
And you know what? As I said, you know, if something doesn't work, you own it and then you change it.
Well,
So,
hopefully we're
but,
not going
you
to
know,
do anything that doesn't work.
Yeah, but I think, you know, with some of the furniture and some of the fixtures, and you know, some of the rooms are traditional in the way that they are. You know, other rooms were built just, you know, 5 years ago. Those are different than the rooms that were built 30 years ago or updated 10 years ago.
So you see this as being an evolution just like anybody's home?
Just like anybody's home, and you go and you develop it. Like, I mean, everyone remembers going to their grandmother's house, but not a lot of people I know decorate it like their grandparents. So, I mean, so, you know, there's always traditions, always has its place.
Now, some of you may be wondering, Sarah, what are you going to do to this gorgeous room? Let me be clear, I am not going to touch anything architectural. It's just decorating. I like the rug. I have a question. When it moves to lounge, right now the rug is big enough to hold the table, just barely.
Yeah.
But when we move to multiple lounge groupings, it's going to seem small. Would it be an option to swap this with the one that's in the bar?
It does fit.
When it comes to big picture vision, there is always one thing. There is always one element for me that kickstarts a whole project. And there is a fabulous rug in the bar that I am wild about. This is a nice rug here, but this is just too small for the space once we reimagine it. So what I want to do is I want to take the rug from the bar, I want to flip it into here, and then I want to extract a color from that rug. I'm thinking something along the lines of a smoky teal. It's got amazing mustards. It has a really dynamic color palette for an antique rug, and it is going to be the launch pad for this whole room. So cool. Okay, let's see the other room. And then we have this room. Isn't this space incredible? So what's this normally used for?
So again, what we use when we have private functions, if there's a meeting in there, people can use this for their breakout, and we do buffet.
Okay.
Now buffet can't do that anymore.
Okay.
But that being said,
Buffet is so last year.
Traditionally, when the house was first built, this area wasn't here.
Okay.
So this was added in 1989 to enclose it and to provide a breakout seating area from the red room that we came from. So.
And what our friends watching might not know is that your dad started this.
Correct.
And also
as an
was
architect,
the architect.
As an architect,
Right.
So they spent 18 months building it out, and away they went. So, you know, one
So
thing.
this is a labor of love and a family project.
Exactly, and the way I'm going to sneak this under the radar is that as an architect, he always loves projects, so
Okay.
it's just another project.
Okay.
If he doesn't like it, there's another project after that. So,
You make it sound like your dad's not going to like what
Yeah,
I do. I'm going to try really hard to impress the boss.
yeah. This area, because it has multiple accesses and flow-throughs for walking, you know, you could have another set of seating areas in here, another 6 to 8, maybe 10, depending on configurations.
Okay.
But the idea is we can have 30 to 40 people that can feel comfortable seating in public areas.
Right.
They don't feel like they're coming to Langdon Hall for a 2-night stay, and they're, you know, if they're not in their room, they can't be in any public areas.
Right.
So, you know, we have to provide that, you know, that aspect for our guests.
Well, there aren't many places where you can go, where you can sit in a room like this when it's cold outside and take in the magnificence of the views, the long drive, watch the clouds go by. So I think being able to create this as a gathering space is so important.
And it holds it because of the way the windows are and the way the sun moves.
Right.
I mean, you can actually create the heat in here, so that sitting in here in the middle of a winter day is pretty spectacular.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got 3 different doors.
We've got 3 different
coming
doors.
in. Great for access, tricky for furniture layout. The brick wall is fantastic. The shutters are amazing. Do you think that for moving into winter, do you think you need a rug in here?
It'd certainly do some softness to it, for
Okay.
sure.
All the ways that this could be used. Somebody could be in here quietly working on a laptop,
Yeah.
having a phone call,
Yeah,
afternoon tea,
yeah,
a drink before dinner,
yeah,
late night lounging.
exactly. All the above.
Did I miss anything?
Nope.
No. Maybe
Nope.
could they eat in here?
We serve food in here too. If
Okay.
somebody asks for it, you know, we can certainly do it depending on, you know, how many people are in it and the configuration and
Okay.
so on. Yeah.
And whether it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as you see, we've just been pulling furniture forever. It doesn't even match. So the
Right.
thing is, we've got to start to work on aspects of it so that
Well, if
people
everything
can-
was perfect, you wouldn't need my help,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So this has all just been moved in. Again, you've taken it from the conservatory and you've brought it in here.
Correct.
Okay. The moss, is there a story behind this? Is this
It's just
important?
done by our head groundskeeper, Mario.
Okay.
And so the idea is it's just sort of a living wall, and it breaks up the texture and it breaks up the wall.
Right. Did it feel like too much brick before?
It was just red. I mean, it was just all brick, brick, brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How long's it been here?
Oh God, I couldn't even give you the right answer.
Okay. Do you think it needs to stay?
We can see.
Maybe.
I mean, you know, like I said, it's a living wall, so it's replaceable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Braden's so tough. It's like, yeah, anything goes.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
I have trouble. Can you tell? I have
Yeah.
trouble asking those questions. I'm like, I'm not sure. I think
Well,
it's
it's hard,
really
'cause
neat.
that's the thing
I
is,
like
you
the
know-
idea of it. I'm
Yeah.
just not sure if it's always important when you start a project what
Yeah.
what needs to stay and what could change.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen ones that are more modern and certainly don't have the trellis layered effect to it,
Yeah.
which might be one aspect of it.
Yeah.
But as I said, I've always remembered it being like that, but you know, I'm never tied to everything being exactly the same all the time.
I just think the brick wall is amazing.
Yeah.
As far as a foundation for a project, you couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah.
I mean, really, this room needs nothing.
Yeah.
This room needs furniture. I think a rug
Yeah.
would really help soften it. So if we could find an awesome, extra long, extra wide runner that would just give some color, give some softness. I think that the ceilings are so tall that what you don't want in here is really short furniture.
Yeah.
So I think the furniture has to be the right scale, the right feeling. In looking at this, I don't know, there's something that sort of tells me that it would be really nice to have a round table with 4 chairs that you could
Yep.
kind of do lounging, play a game, use a laptop, casual dining over in the corner.
Yeah.
Could feel really nice. And then you have opportunities for some seating groupings here. So
Yeah.
you have historical spaces. I think it would be really interesting to use a historical palette, but in a really updated way. So not make it feel as traditional red, take it into a whole new spectrum, more streamlined furnishings, not fussy, but also not contemporary. I don't think you want to push far into the contemporary, but I also think that there's a few pieces that you could introduce that would give it a more unique twist.
Exactly, and the thing is, you know, what you can do, and when you're bringing in new things, and because we haven't had a lot of new furniture in a while, you know, this wicker came out of the conservatory.
Right.
Is it going to go back into the conservatory?
Maybe.
It gives you options, maybe. But maybe it's a little old and dated and heavy to be back in the conservatory. Maybe you need something lighter. So
it definitely needs some reupholstery.
It needs some, yeah, exactly. So, you know, I mean, that's the thing is, you know, when you're looking at those aspects and you're updating things, it's sort of what you're starting with now, what you're going to bring in that's new, and then, you know, how you see that life keep going after the fact.
I've seen since we've been here and since we've been talking, I've seen guests walking by, and what I see is a much younger demographic.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people who are definitely younger than me, and I think that people have a more contemporary appetite for design now than when the hotel was first opened.
Exactly, and you might get those clients who've been here every year for 30 years, and they say, "Why are you changing it?" And it's like, yeah, you know,
just give them my number. Call Sarah.
You were that age when you were that age when you first came.
Yeah. Now, decorating in a pandemic can be a bit of a challenge, but Braden's got a secret weapon. Thank you.
Into the bowels, so the behind the scenes that no one ever sees.
Oh, this is where the magic happens. So this is the Department of Reusables.
Yeah. Now we got chefs, you know, pork heads they used to serve as terrine on, but that didn't go over too well with a couple people.
Okay, we have to use the Capitol. Let's put a marble top, and we got a new table.
Where would you put it?
In the, what do you call the room with the slate floor?
Oh, the conservatory?
Yeah.
The Red Room Conservatory?
I'd put it in the conservatory.
That was a dining room table at one time.
Sure.
So it was my mom's.
The house I grew up in, there was a reclaimed, a salvaged Capitol that my parents dragged back from New Haven, Connecticut in the 60s.
Yeah.
And it was our coffee table growing up. And I just love it. People who've seen it on the show loved it.
So I mean,
people are going to want to buy this. We have to use this.
Yeah.
This is going to the conservatory.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Free table base.
Yeah.
Yes. What else you got? Is that a pair of tables there?
Yep.
Are those from your mom's too?
No, I don't know where they came from.
I'm so glad you invited me to your rummage sale.
This is better than going to the HR department and seeing what I do the rest of the time.
Okay, these have glass tops?
Weird.
I think we could just use these and put a piece of marble on top.
Yeah, repaint them and refresh them.
We could. All right. Are you excited? I'm excited. Do you think this is going to be amazing? I think it's going to be awesome. What a challenge. What a magnificent building to be working on. So I want you to follow me on this journey. I hope you want to follow along. Don't forget to hit that button to subscribe so you never miss an update on this or any of the other exciting projects we're working on. Okay, gotta go. Gotta get to work.